call the Personnel Benefits Committee to order, 5 p.m. Mr. Dan Lord, will you give us an invocation?
Dear Heavenly Father, forgive us for sins, and thank you for bringing us together today. I ask you to continue to watch over us and make decisions for the parish. For your name, we pray, amen.
Amen. Approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Second. Any public comments on agenda items? There are none. All right, Courtney, if you want to discuss our new flow chart.
Yes, sir, thank you. If you look up here on the screen, you'll see, two charts. The one on this side is the existing organizational chart. This is the one that's proposed. So I'll just kind of speak to the one that we've got right now. It's been in place for, 25, 30 years. You know, looking at this, moving forward into the future, in order to provide more sustainability up here, we pretty much operate on a pretty thin margin. There's not a lot of backup in all the positions, and I'll explain that when I get to the end. It's just time to kind of reorganize as we're moving forward. And as I'm kind of reaching the end of my tenure here, you know, some adjustments need to be made. So you can see, of course, at the top, the police jury, they appoint boards and commissions. They also, the president appoints the Homeland Security Director. Parish administrator answers to the police jury, and then the assistant and the treasurer kind of answer to the administrator. And then underneath that, you have all the departments. You can see here, there's a public works director. Now, that position has only been filled one time in my 38 years, and it was only for 2 years. And it was really as a placeholder to put somebody who eventually became the administrator. And you can see that, you know, basically they were over solid waste and highway. So very limited. Most of our engineering that we require right now, we contract out anyway, as do most other municipalities. So let's move real quick over here to what we're proposing. So, you know, we're not trying to change anything really at the top level. Police jury's still there. They still appoint boards and commissions. President still appoints Homeland Security Director. Treasurer and administrator are both appointed and answer to the police jury. One thing that we like to go back to is put back in a financial manager, okay? You know that position existed, 3 years ago? And then it was kind of taken out, you know, when we appointed the treasurer. But as Big Coach might say, you know, we keep the first string in all the time up here. There's nobody on the bench to back them up, okay? And we've gotten into positions before, so that's created some real problems. You know, you've got somebody in purchasing who's got, 20 years experience. You know, if we were to lose that person for one reason or another, you know, she does security, she does so many different things. You know, we know the basics about those, but we really, there's nobody that can just step in there and do that job. Same thing pretty much for HR. And so, we're looking for somebody that, even though the title is financial manager, and they would, you know, basically, you know, handle some of the purchasing and risk management functions, or at least be familiar with them, so we wouldn't be put in a bind, you know, if something were to happen. What I would like to do is get away from a public works director and go with what I'm calling a director of operations. And so you could put all these departments, not just highway and solid waste, but you would have facilities or buildings, highway, solid waste, parks, animal control, and the health agency. And the only reason I put that there is because it was listed on the original chart. So that's kind of what I've got proposed, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have.
So is that going to propose us opening kind of 2 positions with current people, or having to hire a person or 2 to fill one or two of those?
What I'm envisioning is, you know, Kevin right now is the assistant administrator. If you look on the old chart, you know, the assistant's kind of an appendage of the administrator, okay? Kevin does so much more than that, and you know, just assistant administrator doesn't really describe what he does, you know, for the jury, because he deals with all these departments every day. It's not just highway and solid waste, it's everything. And so I think that it would be good, you know, just to give him another title as director of operations.
And those department heads would report directly to him.
That's correct.
Maybe the direct report.
Yeah.
Instead of
And you know, he's still working directly under me.
Right.
assistant administrator role, could technically be absorbed, you know, for these particular issues or departments like purchasing, human resources, and finance, could really be absorbed by the treasurer, okay? And so that position would not be filled at this time, technically, by an individual.
Okay, so we're taking an assistant administrator out, adding human and, purchasing under parish treasurer.
Right.
What you're saying?
Well, you know, the treasurer, technically in the manual, even though the treasurer is hired by the jury or appointed by the jury,
Right.
day-to-day oversight's by the parish administrator. So that's why they're connected like this. Financial manager would work under the treasurer, assistant administrator, whatever, once we make the shift, whatever functions an assistant might be required to do, you know, we basically come under the treasurer. And so, because, you know, we've got it down now to basically human resources purchase. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it.
So
Okay.
they would come under the treasurer, but the treasurer wouldn't have to try to work all that. the
Oh,
other people.
no, that's correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. There won't really be any additional, duties or requirements
Oh, okay.
put upon the treasurer.
But they would be direct reports to the treasurer, not the parish administrator.
Correct.
Universally.
Okay.
And that's not gonna be, you know, I don't think a burden or anything for the treasurer. So it kinda cleans it up in a lot of ways, I think. And so basically, you know, unless you have some more questions, we're kinda looking for your approval to move to this new organization.
I think it'll provide more sustainability for the administrator's position as well moving forward.
Right.
As we look at final long term.
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely on board with that. I think this provides more adaptability and sustainability than the other one, which is why I think we need to go ahead and get.
Now, do you leave the assistant administrator role or position? You're not
We'll leave it
deleting
on the chart.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And that way, if we need,
Yeah.
you know, if there's a need, you can still fill it.
Yes, at this point, we're not anticipating filling that position.
I'll make a motion that we follow recommendation of administration on the org chart.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Alright. Any other business? Any public comments? Can I have a motion, again?
Second.
or round it up.
The Public Property and Buildings Committee is called to order. At this particular time, I'll ask Mr. Hunt if he would lead us out in our invocation, please.
Absolutely. Lord, we love you and we praise you, God. We thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for this place and the privilege to help lead it. Give us guidance and wisdom as we attempt to do so. May our actions be acceptable in your sight. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Next item is approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been moved in second. Ready for question? All in favor, note by the word aye. Ayes have it, motion carried. Public comments on agenda items, any from the public? Next item is our old business. At this particular time, I'm going to ask if someone would give a motion to take it off the table and move, take item 1 off the table, under old business.
I'll make that motion. We, take question, off the.
Okay.
Second.
Been motion second to remove item, 1 under old business off the table. Ready for question? All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Now, item 1, consider and take actions necessary entering into cooperative endeavor agreement with Boys and Girls Club of North Louisiana for the use of space in Complex 1. Ms. Hall.
Yes, sir. We, we brought this up at our last meeting and tabled it pending more information. Well, we had another meeting with Mr. Osborne here recently to kind of go over some details, and I think we've got things worked out. He understands that we can't guarantee more than 1 year, at this point, but he's okay with that. He's gonna be flexible. I told him we wouldn't throw him out on the street, at the end of that, we'd figure out something. We could not enter into more than a 1-year agreement at this point. We've also worked out that there will be some expenses that will be involved in the use of the space as far as utilities go, especially things like that. Other details, we got worked out. He understands he needs to provide an insurance certificate. So from an administration standpoint, we're satisfied that they will make good tenants and are agreeable to the terms that we presented to them. You have anything you'd like to add?
No, we're excited, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think we kind of also decided that September 1st would kind of be the date we'll shoot for. So
Because that's the second floor, we gotta get the health agency out, is that
Right,
correct?
right.
And move into their new
That's
facility.
correct, yeah. So that September 1st will, give us enough time in case there's any, issues with the move.
No.
That's all I have.
Will I get a motion to enter into a corporate endeavor agreement with the Boys and Girls Club?
So moved. Second.
Then motion and second that we enter into the agreement with the Boys and Girls Club. All in, ready for question? All in favor, note by the word aye. Ayes have it, motion carried. Next item is other business. Have any?
No, sir, I don't have any.
Public comment? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion and second to adjourn. All in favor, note by the word aye. Ayes have it, motion carried.
call to order this time, I ask Mr. Melton to give us an invocation, please.
Let us pray. Our gracious Father, we thank you for another day. Thank you for an opportunity to just call on your wonderful name. Thank you, Lord God, that we're alive and know that we're alive. We ask now that you would bless each and every one that's around this table, individually and collectively. Bless their families that are at home. Lord God, as we go into this meeting, we ask that everything be done decently in order. Decisions that we rendered be rendered in the best for the constituents of our many different districts, of our 12 districts. These are the things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
At this time, we got the Public Works Committee in order. And could we get a approval of the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Any nays? So we moving. At this time, the first thing off the flat is the consider abandonment of several of our roads. And make sure we understand what.
Mr. Chairman, you missed public comment.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Any public comments at this time? Okay. Should we get a move on?
Just keep going. Just keep going.
Okay. At this time, we consider abandonment of several roads, Halsted, Lester, Skinner, Grover, scheduled public hearing. Make sure we know what we're saying. We're saying that define the public road, the end road is accepted by the maintenance of the parish governing authority to serve the public, and that is in the best interest of the parish. So what we're saying now, we're going from public back to private of these particular roads. So the next thing we come before public, we come before the board here now to make a recommendation. And after that, we go to the we have a public hearing, and then from a public hearing, and then we go before the full body. Do we have any questions at this time? So we
Yes, sir. We kind of like to go over the roads. You know, last year, we abandoned a pretty big road, Ligon Bluff, I believe it was. And at that time, we were reviewing other potential roads. We just haven't really, acted on those yet. So we did receive a request from Miss Shirley Smith in regards to Halsted Road, saying that she would like it abandoned and made a private road. So we got to look at some others that were, obviously don't serve a public purpose, and would like to add them to that list. So Halsted Road, as you can see, is Bleacher District 3. It's entirely on her property. She has issues, with people coming down the road. I told her last time she was here, I said, it's a public road, we can't, stop people from doing that. So she indicated she would like to make it private. So this is a voluntary abandonment. I don't see a problem with granting her request, but we still have to go through the process. So let's just go ahead and look at the others that are on the list. The next one is Lester Road, which is also in District 3. You can see it's all located on one parcel, even though there are multiple structures back there, they all belong to the same family. So, basically, it's a private driveway.
Any school buses go down these roads?
I don't know about that one. No. The next one that we'd like to consider is Skinner Road. It's also in District 3. District 3 is getting pretty hard. It shows two structures on there, I don't know what the 125 may be a mobile home, but it's all one property owner. And also, goes back to an oil and gas well, back there too. So is it really serving a public purpose? I don't think it is. Generally, we use like 3 or more residences, kind of as our guideline. The other last one is Grover, which is in District 4. This one kind of surprised me because it's actually paved, but it goes back to one residence. And it's not serving a public purpose at all. And so that's the last one we'd like to recommend. These are all the same owner. Same owner, same parcel.
That's it? Any comments?
And so the process, as Big Coach said, if you agree to call the public hearing, we'll put a public notice in the paper, notify, all the, parties that need to be notified, so they can come to the public hearing, which will be next June, and express their concerns or favoritism for abandoning the road, and then we'll take action
At that meeting, following the public hearing.
following the public hearing.
Can you double, I think that's in District 5, but I could be wrong. Can you double check that for me, Jim?
What is?
I'm gonna call Todd
Grover?
if it's in 5, yeah. Cool, okay. Give TJ a call.
Right?
Do you have any comments on any of these roads? You concur, pretty much proud to drive on?
I mean, Lester Road is, it's got fence on both sides, and it's so hard to blade. I mean, the only way we could actually even maintain it, he would have to move his fences and give our right of way back. Because you can't hardly get down it with a grader because of his fences. We're so close.
But it's basically a house and a barn.
Right, that's not.
Personal house, personal barn.
If we, do this, we're gonna go dress these roads up and get them back clean before we, or is it just gonna stop?
I mean, they're actually in good shape. Two of them are blacktop. Let's see, Halsted and Grover are good.
I don't think it's been long.
Lester's in good shape, and, Skinner's actually in good shape.
Yeah, you just went to Skinner just not long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions? Can we get a motion on this, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. Any nays? Okay. Next item, we got authorized engagement of Schuler Consulting Company for service related to acquisition of generators, FEMA, and authorized advertising for the bid.
Right? That's gonna be Kip's baby.
This is the generators that we've been approved for the Ruston Tornado money and for a separate project that I submitted in 2023. There's two separate pools of money. One of them is a 75-25 cost share, the other's a 90-10 cost share. But GOSEP contacted me yesterday, and I had President Scriver sign two documents that I'm gonna submit tomorrow, that they're gonna put in for amendment to convert that 10% to a full federal share too. So it'll be 100% funded if it all goes through, like most time it does. So, and the police jury is in both pools of money. So, any questions?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, so be it. Any nays? Okay. Next item is the, we got a bid, P. Ridge Road, box and covered. We got two bids in, Marbury and W.F. Bass Construction. I think, Marbury got the lowest bid, am I right, Courtney?
Yes, and all his bid documents were in order. We got a letter of recommendation to award the bid from, the engineer to the Mabry Company, LLC. He was recommended to do that.
Can I get a motion on that?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
So be any nays? Okay. Next item is, we got a preliminary plat approval. Can we get that up, Kevin? This is preliminary plat approval for Oak Tree Road subdivision, unit 2 and 3.
Right off Oak Tree Road.
Any questions on that? Comments?
So we've already approved, unit
First
one.
one, wasn't it?
Approval of a preliminary plat just gets the developer permission to go ahead and begin, construction. There's still a final plat that will need to be submitted and approved.
This is the location up here on 820.
And Neil DeForest, I believe, is here. He's the, engineer. Has he got anything you wanna tell us about this?
These all have existing road frontage, so there's not really any new infrastructure that's gonna be required for these lots. There's another phase coming in that open space to the top right. There'll be some infrastructure required in there, but that'll come later.
How many lots are you contemplating in that?
Oh, goodness, I think it's like maybe 15. They're an acre and a half. They're the same individual sewer treatment, so they'll be the same size lots as these. It just will be a little bit of infrastructure, road infrastructure will need to be put in for that.
Everybody have their own treatment plant?
Yeah, and so this has to be, also, once you guys approve the preliminary plat, we go to Department of Health, and they review lot sizes to make sure that they're approved for individual treatment, so that'll be the next step.
Any work the parish will have to do?
Not on this one. No, ma'am.
Any other questions on this?
I'll make that motion, move forward.
Second.
So be it. Any nays? Next item we have is consider, declare various items. We got some surplus property authorized for advertisement of bids here.
Yeah, we have quite a list, which is why we didn't list them each on the agenda. But you'll basically be approving, the list that's attached to your agenda. Jerry, is there anything you wanna bring to their attention about this?
I got a question on item 15. It says minimum bid 10,000, minimum bid 200. That might need to be changed before it's sent out.
What number is that?
Number 15, it says minimum bid 10,000 and minimum bid 200.
Yeah.
Catch.
Yes, I saw a couple
We haven't sent
200
these
and
out yet.
stuff.
What is that supposed to be?
It's a zero turn lawnmower.
Supposed to be
Yeah, it's on
$200.
there.
Supposed to be
It's 200. Scratch the 10,000.
scratch the 10.
I don't think we would've gotten any.
It was gonna be the
We'll
only
take
thing-
them, but I don't think we would've gotten any.
That's gonna be the only thing left out there.
If you want to get his 10 years.
Do we have any other business?
We need to approve the environmental surplus.
Could I get approval on this?
So moved.
Second.
Any nays? So be it. Do we have any other business? Any public comments?
Get a motion to adjourn.
A motion be adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
put me on the stress test, it went away. And that's good. She said if it hurts or gets, just stays there while you're exercising.
They thought they were gonna do 3 when they got in.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome each of you to our regular scheduled police jury meeting on this May the 13th at 6 p.m. Before we get started officially, just want to just make a couple of comments. If you intend to make a comment on the public hearing, then you will need to at least put your name on a sheet over there. That's for the public hearing, and basically that's all you need to do if you want to speak during the public hearing time. So you will need to do that, and we'll just go down the list. Now, also, as in every meeting, if you want to make a public comment that's on the agenda, you need to also make that request known as well. It's kind of a different sheet there. Some people have signed both, which is perfectly fine. But for the public hearing aspect of it, you'll just need to sign your name on the yellow legal pad is all you'll need to do. We'll get that at the appropriate time. We will go down the list as is on the list. We'll make a few more comments about that when we enter into that time. But if you would, I call to order now, and if you will bow with me, I'm going to lead us in the invocation at the pledge of allegiance. Lord, we come before you tonight, and I just thank you for the opportunity and privilege that we have to come and serve, make decisions for our great parish of Lincoln. I think of each one of these people that sit around this table to sacrifice their time and energy to put forth what's best for our parish. As always, we ask your guidance, your leadership on everything that we say and do, and that we always pray that our conduct will be pleasing unto you. So just continue to lead, guide, and direct each one of us. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we enter into now some committee reports. I'm sorry, approval of the agenda. If I could get the approval of.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And it passes. So far, is there any public comments on agenda items? Not related to the public hearing, but any comments on the agenda? There are none. So do I get a motion to approve the minutes of our prior meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposition? And there would be none, so it passes unanimously. Now we enter into committee reports, with the first one being Personnel and Benefits Committee. Mr. Moose Garrett is our chairman of that, and I'll turn it over to him at this time.
Yes, sir. The Personnel and Benefits Committee met today at 5 o'clock. We only have one new business on there. Discuss, take action this year on restructuring organization chart. And Courtney, do we want to show it to the jurors or just put it for?
Would anybody like to see it?
All right. Well, that being said, that's all we have, Mr. President. I will put that in the form of a motion.
That's in the form of a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second has been made. Any questions about this? You had the opportunity. I think we've looked at the new charts that will go into place. No questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Thank you, Mr. Garriga. And Public Property and Buildings Committee, Mr. Milton Melton, if you will share that.
Mr. President, I would like to present this report in the form of a motion. Lincoln Parish Police Jury Public Property and Buildings Committee convened on Tuesday, May 13th, 2025 at 5:15 p.m. Call to order, Milton Melton. Invocation, Mr. Logan Hunt. Approval of agenda, approved. Public comments on agenda items, none. Old business, one item discussed and approved. Other business, none. Public comment, none. Adjournment. Mr. President, this concludes my report.
It comes in the form of a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a second? Any question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And there would be none. So now, item number 4 under our agenda there, Public Works Committee. Mr. Big Coach, chairman of that, if you will give us that report, please.
Public Works, 5:30, we met here, has several items on the table. One thing is, consider abandonment for Halsted Road, Lester Road, Skinner Road, and Grove Road, scheduled public hearing related to thereof, and, everything went approved, and, went into motion, everybody approved it. Next thing we had was authority engaged for Schuler Consulting Company for service related to acquisition of generators FEMA. It was, approved and the bid went out, so everything's straight with that right, Kip. Next thing was bid was the culverts on the, P Ridge Road box covered. We went with the lowest bid, which I think was Halsted, right? Mabry was the lowest bid on that one, so that was approved, unanimously. And the last one was the declaration of the surplus property. No, I'm sorry. Consider primary plat approval Oak Tree Road subdivision unit 2 and 3, and that was approved unanimously. And so that went on as planned. And the last one was declare various items of surplus, which is a list, all the jurymen, you got the list of that. And in the price of it, we had one little dot on it, we fixed that, so that was approved as normal. So.
Make that a motion.
Could I get a?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any questions about any of this report here? None. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Moving on to, item number 5, open the public hearing. We will need a motion to enter into a public hearing. I'll entertain a motion this time to enter into.
Second.
Motion made, second. All in favor say aye. Aye. So, as we enter into this time of public hearing, just a few words that I would like to express. Like I said, if you want to make your comments on what probably a lot of you are here for tonight, then I'd like for you to sign up on that yellow legal pad there, and we will go down the list, and you will have your opportunity to speak to the jury. We ask that your comments, be held or in the 5-minute range if possible. Shorter would be okay too, but if it gets a little long, we may have to entertain a little bit. But during your comments, we ask everyone to be respectful. We ask for everyone to handle themselves in a professional manner, and we as jurors will do the same. So that's basically what comments that I would like to make before we enter into that. And I'll ask Mr. Hall if he has any other comments.
No, sir. The purpose of the public hearing is to authorize the police jury for the collection of a local hospital assessment, passing an ordinance to allow us to do that. And so I'll go check the list.
I guess what I'd ask too, with I know Kathy Hall is here from Allegiance. Is there anyone else here, Kathy, with Allegiance? Okay, you are here for Allegiance tonight. Yeah, okay.
All right, I've got one name. So is there anybody else who needs to get on the list?
Anybody else want to make a comment?
Why don't you pass that list around? There's so many of us.
Well, I mean, yeah, we can get the list to you if that's what you prefer. So, yeah, we'll do that as hurriedly as possible. We don't want a bunch going on while someone is trying to speak, out of respect for the person doing the speaking as well as those that are trying to hear what the person is saying and paying attention to it. Who's the first person? Bill Jones. Hi, Bill.
Good evening. My name is Bill Jones. I live in Ruston. First of all, I want you to know that I'm all for drawing down more Medicaid money to improve care and expand access here in Lincoln Parish. But I, and the rest of the people in Lincoln Parish, I think, want to be sure that if the police jury does that, that extra money that is raised goes to improve care and expand access here at this hospital. So I've got some questions, and I don't know who I should address them to. Ms. Hall, I don't think I've ever met you, but if your position with the hospital is? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. I guess all right. I have a series of questions that I've gotten from other people and who want to know. All right. First of all, can you explain the legal setup of the hospital? First, is it a for-profit operation?
It is.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Now, is the real estate owned by whom?
The real estate is owned by Rock Bordelon.
Individually?
Yes.
Okay. And what entity conducts the operations at the hospital?
Allegiance Health Management.
Okay.
Allegiance Health Management is owned and operated by Rock Bordelon as well.
Okay. But we have two legal entities. Okay. I assume that the operating company pays a lease payment to the landlord, Mr. Bordelon.
Correct.
Okay. And does the operating company pay a management fee to any other entity?
No.
Okay. All right. But all the hospital operations are conducted by Allegiant.
The hospital operations, the hospital is its own LLC. It has a management company, and Allegiance Health Management is the management company.
Okay.
So the operations of the hospital are conducted at the hospital.
So if I'm hearing you straight, there are three parties in this. The landlord, the company that actually operates the hospital, correct?
The hospital operates itself. Allegiance Health Management is the support company.
Well, when you're saying the hospital, that's not Mr. Bordelon.
That's correct.
It is what entity? There's a company name.
The hospital is CLHG.
Okay. So we've got three parties.
Yes.
All right, CLHG that's operating the hospital, it makes a lease payment to Mr. Bordelon.
Correct.
Okay. And CLHG pays a management fee to Allegiant?
That's correct.
Okay. We'll come back to that. All right, now, if this program is adopted, could you tell me how the money flows? Or maybe it's quicker if I tell you what I think I know and you tell me if I'm wrong. How about that? I often am. Okay, police jury is going to okay this special assessment. HLSG, I assume, is going to say okay, or does the landlord say okay? Who's on the other side of the special assessment?
The assessment, and this is new for the hospital as well, the assessment is. So Louisiana Department of Health will bring down the assessment amount to the hospital.
Wait, okay, now you're saying the hospital. HLHG?
CLHG, yes.
Who pays the assessment?
The hospital,
CLHG.
yes.
Okay. CLHG pays the assessment,
Yes.
comes through the jury, to the sheriff, who's the tax collector. He gets a fee for collecting it. To the police jury, they get a fee for doing this. And then it goes to DHH in Baton Rouge.
Correct.
All right, there, DHH segregates it in an account just for us. Or keeps track of it just for us.
That's correct. They keep track
Okay.
of it.
And then the feds are gonna send match money down.
Louisiana Department of Health would send the money up, and then it would be sent back down.
Up, meaning to CMS in Washington DC.
That's correct.
They match it and send it back. What's the match rate?
The rate has not been set yet.
Okay, is it gonna be more or less than what the state is getting now, or do we know?
It's typically more, but I can't answer that question because the rate has not been set.
Okay, who would we ask to find out what the match rate is?
Well, they don't know that yet.
Okay, who is they?
CMS, until all of it's presented and they know the
Okay, but in any event, the special assessment fee that the hospital is gonna pay will get matched in some proportion by the feds, and the money comes back to state DHH, or does it come directly to the hospital?
It'll go to state, and then the state makes the distributions.
Okay, now, now when DHH gets the money back from CMS, from the feds, who do they send the check to?
When the funds come back to Louisiana Department of Health, the distributions are typically made through a direct deposit into the checking account of the hospital.
CLHD?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when CLHG gets the special Medicaid money due to this program, not the other, who does it in turn pay? How is it gonna use those funds?
I'm not sure that I understand your question.
I think he's asking, once you get the money, how are y'all gonna use the money? Is that what you're asking, Mr. Jones?
That's right, yeah. I wanna know who's getting, my understanding from reading the state statute is it's supposed to go to providers.
Yes.
Will it all go to providers?
The funds will go, so the way, yes, it helps to cover the cost of the providers. Yes.
All right, now, is that money gonna be distributed pro rata to all providers?
The money is to help fund the cost of the cost to bring your providers in. So are you asking the question, if this federal fund comes in, if that money is gonna be taken and distributed to the providers that are already staffed that we're paying for? Is that the question?
Well, those funds could be used two ways. They could be used to solicit new providers, or they could up the reimbursement rate for the existing providers, which in turn would attract other providers. How is that money supposed to be used? How will it be used?
Well, I can't answer that specific question. What I can tell you is that we have worked the past couple of years recruiting doctors, and we have one of our doctors that is actually sitting here that has been recruited, and there are a lot of funds that have been used to help recruit. We actually have recruited in 14 doctors.
Okay.
So yeah, funds are used for that. I don't know the specific.
Well, I mean,
amount.
are you gonna up the reimbursement rates?
Their reimbursement rates?
Yeah.
The doctor's reimbursement
Yeah.
rate? No, their reimbursement rate's already set with the previous contracts that they have.
Previous contracts with whom?
That they have with, some of their contracts are currently with Green Clinic, and some of them are with the hospital. And so, the benefit of having these is the funds, is that the money has already been spent recruiting doctors here. It's helping us to keep doctors here and bring more doctors here.
Okay, so-
But we didn't have this fund to begin with, and we still recruited these doctors in with very substantial salaries.
I just wanna understand how the money's gonna go. What I'm hearing you say is that the money's gonna stay at CLHD. I'm not good with acronyms. It's still Lincoln General
Yeah,
Hospital to me.
me.
All right? So what you're telling me is the money stays with y'all,
Yes.
and you're gonna use it to recruit new physicians?
We will continue to recruit, yes.
Well, are you gonna use all the funds to recruit?
I mean, I don't know what the funds, I don't know the amount of the funds, so I can't, you're asking a question that I cannot answer. Because I don't know if we will get $100,000 or if we're gonna get $500,000.
Well, if you got $100,000, what would you do with it?
Well, $100,000 wouldn't be, a drop in the budget for what it costs me to recruit a physician. So
It costs more than $100,000 to recruit a physician.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, is that because you're guaranteeing the first year's salary?
That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
If you got 500, how would you use?
Well, that would cover about one doctor.
About one doctor, okay.
Bill, I think we just, I appreciate your question, but I think we're dogging this thing a little bit too much personally on this. You know, I know all of us want the money to be spent here locally, but, they don't know how much they're going to get. I think some of the question is probably impossible to answer, but if you can move on a little bit faster, we would appreciate it.
I can do that. What restrictions will you apply to the use of the funds? Put it another way. Let me put it another way. Will your company execute a written agreement with the police jury that tells them how you're gonna use this money?
Legally, you can't do that.
Who says that? No, I'm not being
That's what
antagonistic, I'm saying, I'm a lawyer. If it's against the law, give me a legal citation, I'll go look it up. Is y'all's lawyer here? Mr. Gaines? No, not Mr. Gaines. He's a consultant. Who's the lawyer?
I guess it would be Mr. Jones.
And your name is?
Yeah, James Buckley.
James Buckley? I thought you were the jury's lawyer.
Yeah, he's a jury's lawyer. Their lawyer is, the hospital lawyer is not here.
Hospital lawyer's not here. You're not saying it's against the law for them to enter into a written agreement with the jury, are you?
I'm not making any comment.
You're not, okay, you're not making any, that's what I thought. So, okay, well, well, if it's legally permissible, you're the CEO of the hospital, can you tell us that you'll agree to enter into a written agreement with the jury as to the use of the funds?
Yeah, well, I don't own the hospital, and that would be a question that you would have to ask Rock. I don't own the
Do you have a board of directors?
Seems like you're not able to
Okay.
answer all these questions.
Will you commit, will you commit tonight to the citizens of Lincoln Parish and the police jury to give us an answer as to whether you'll enter into a written agreement with the jury regarding the use of the extra drawdown funds?
What I will tell you that we will do, we could bring that to our board for a discussion.
That's what I'm asking you to do, and you will get back, you'll give us an answer in writing.
I'll bring it to the board.
Okay, and if the answer is no, we need to know the reasons why. And you're saying, sure, y'all will give us the reasons why.
I do not have a problem bringing it to the police. Yes,
Okay,
that would be
all
correct.
right. Now, will your company agree to an audit of your use of these funds on an annual basis by an auditor selected by the jury?
That would have to be a question that I would have to go to Rock Bordelon with. I cannot answer that.
Okay, well, why is Mr. Bordelon here tonight?
He was not able to attend tonight. So
All right.
I'm here and I'm doing the best that I can.
Okay, well, we have one issue where you've agreed. You're gonna tell us whether you'll enter into a written agreement with the jury regarding the use of the funds. Number two, I heard you agree that you will come back to us with an answer as to whether y'all will agree to an audit of your use of the funds on an annual basis by an auditor selected by the jury. That's a yes, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
About 2 or 3 more minutes, Bill.
Mr. President, I am just about through, although I'm gonna make one last comment. I am very disappointed that we can't get our questions answered here tonight because of the absence of the hospital's owner. I hope the next time we have one of these, he comes. Can I get a commitment from you that he'll come to the next one of these?
I don't control the schedule, but I'll try to get him here.
Will you give us an answer?
Yes.
At the same time, you give us the answer on the other two questions?
I'll get you some answers.
And how long will it take to get those answers?
Well, as soon as I can.
Well, is that 2 weeks or something? That's plenty of time, isn't it? can't give us a time commitment.
I don't know what day that I can have him here to meet. He has come and meet with some of the police juries.
I'm asking to get answers to these questions.
Oh, I can get you.
This is a
answers
public
to the
hearing, it's
question,
not a
but-
debate. And I think you know, the main issue is to express concerns before this jury takes a vote. It's not really an interrogation or putting somebody on trial here. I think we need to allocate this time to somebody else at this point.
How long?
She'll get it for you, Mr. Bill, I promise you. She's a woman of her word.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Hall.
Mr. Rail Gray wants to make a comment.
I'm here as also a citizen of Lincoln Parish, maybe not as long as Bill Jones, but 60 years. For 50 of those years, I've been a practicing.
Much older than I am, Red.
I've always been proud of Lincoln Parish. We've always striven to be the best. I think I'm qualified to comment on this as a physician. I've been for 2 years. Many years ago, I was the president of the hospital staff. For 12 years or so, I was a police juror here. And I sat in one of your seats and made the same decisions that you are. But when I first came here, we were just building the present hospital. The old hospital was kind of a Civil War type hospital. It wasn't much. We were proud of the new hospital. 30 to 40 years ago, people came from all over North Louisiana for medical care. They bypassed other places to come here. And that was a real source of pride. And now the word on the street is, and the word I hear from my patients, is if you want care, go to Bernice, Jonesboro. I can't imagine that, but that's what I hear. In all fairness, let me tell you that 40 years ago, there was a study done by Marshfield Clinic in Marshfield, Wisconsin. A huge clinic with 300 doctors. They surveyed the citizens of their city, and they found that 25% of them went elsewhere for their care. And I think that's a general statement. In any place, 25% of the people are going to go elsewhere. That's just their choice. But I think it's more than that now that are going elsewhere. I don't know why, but that's what I hear. And I would like for this hospital to once again be a source of attraction for patients from all over North Louisiana. I'm not opposed to a new hospital, but I say, let's make this one an attraction first to prove that we can run it right. And as far as I kind of agree with Bill. We would like to have the money, but in the words of President Reagan, we'll trust but verify. We need some way to make sure that that money goes to patient care. Thank you.
Thank you, Gray. There are no more people that signed up to make a public comment on this. So with all of that being said, we can close our public hearing at this point in time. We will take action on it, but we need to get out of the public hearing at this point in time, and we will offer up a Second. Motion made and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. So, we are officially out of the public hearing. And now we move on to new business, item number 8. Adopt the ordinance authorizing collection and rate of local hospital assessment. Mr. Hall?
Yes, sir. You had an ordinance in your packet, but I want to make sure that you're aware, I passed one out. There were a couple of tweaks on there, so I want to make absolutely certain that you are aware that the ordinance that you're going to adopt tonight has some changes in it. So if you'll look, they're very minor, they're consequential changes, really. If you'll look in section 3, where it says payments, the ordinance that you had in your packet read, shall be due quarterly. Well, we just changed that to say annually, and may be paid in quarterly installments. So that's one change. The other changes in section 4, we took out any reference to a designated depository. So those are the only 2 changes made in the ordinance that you received in your packet. Just wanted to make you aware of that.
Okay. That has been made aware of. And so, what we'll do, as we vote on this will be a roll call vote on this, yeas and nays. And so we will.
Glenn, can I say something to Miss Kathy real quick?
Sure.
You mind? Miss Kathy, I want to say something real quick, is that since I've been a juror, probably this topic, I've been confronted more about than anything else. So whichever way this goes, I think it is a sad topic that Rock's not here, or maybe someone from legal can answer some questions for some citizens and some people here. I think I feel like this is a great opportunity to give the hospital some financial ease to help make itself better. And I hope that if this goes, whatever way it goes, I know you will do the best in your staff. I know a lot of your doctors and nurses are friends of mine. They work very hard and do all they can do, what they can do. But if this does go through, I want you, Rock, not really the people here, because people here see us all, everybody know what we're going. The people that aren't here, that are in different places, understand that this community has to have this money stay here, or this will be something that, like I said, I've had more people confront me on this publicly than anything that I've been a part of in the short time I've been a juror. So, whatever way this goes, I want you to push that up, that, to Rock and to other people, that he has an opportunity to make himself a good statement here, and the ball is gonna be in his court if this goes in favor of getting, the money, and it can go one way or the other. So he has a chance to make this hospital better, or break the public opinion of the hospital and make it go a different way. So, and I appreciate what you do, your staff, I know a lot of them personally, but, I just want you to, it's not on you as much as it has got to handle this money correctly, whichever way it goes.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to make one thing, just to make sure everybody's clear. What we're doing tonight is adopting an ordinance that authorizes us to levy an assessment. We are not levying the assessment tonight. We're just getting the authority to do it. There's another step that we have to take. I think as Kathy mentioned, we have to get the numbers that we can collect. The hospital's voluntary assessment, they provide that to us. And we put it in a resolution, and we adopt it. And then that's the mechanism, the trigger, if you will. So what we're doing tonight is putting in place authorization to be able to do that. So I want to make that clear.
So we're basically just kind of setting up the structure of the assessment.
Correct.
That'll give us additional time
You are not.
to continue discussions.
You are not
with Allegiance.
authorizing,
Yeah.
you're authorizing, but you're not stating and collecting the assessment.
And we could choose to do so or not to do so at a later
That's
date.
correct.
This is for the ordinance only.
This is for the ordinance.
It's a
And
step,
moving
necessary
forward-
step.
And moving forward, before this assessment can ever be collected again, you have to do a resolution.
And is it also correct that that resolution would be an annual?
Yes. Yes, it's not a one-time deal, it has to be done annually.
Yeah.
Let's vote.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Kathy, what's y'all's census right now? What's the average daily census, would you say, of the hospital?
The average is about 36.
And how does that compare to, or I guess how long have you been CEO here? 4 years?
4 years.
How does that compare to 4 years ago, 2 years ago?
It's increasing.
Okay.
When I first came, we had a high volume of
So do those numbers include outpatient, as well, or that's just
That
in
is
hospital?
just in hospital patients.
In hospital.
Yes,
Okay.
and most everything's been driven outpatient.
And these, I have some more questions, but they may be better, I guess, maybe potentially for Rob in the near future. Yeah, that's all the questions I have for Kathy. I might would just add that, Courtney, I don't know if you might want to introduce David Gaines to the jury and tell them that he's kind of been helping us through some of this process.
Sure, Mr. David Gaines, he's in the blue suit right there. He has been helping us work through this. This is very complicated, let me tell you. Mr. Gaines is very knowledgeable. He's also got next to him Mr. Hardy Andrews with Foley Udell, who we have consulted with on and off throughout this whole process. So thank you for your support and guidance.
And I think just, I mean, I'm speaking just as us as a jury, but for Mr. Bills and your comments, we are taking a lot of things you have said and are working through it, you know, with all of us, with, some people helping us get through it, and we understand your concerns as what people have said to some of us, and some of your concerns that you brought up tonight, that we will be taking all this, to heart and trying to get it on paper to have some of your answers that you are looking for.
Roll call.
Williams.
Yay.
Ludwig.
Yes. What you say, you got a question right there?
The roll call is to do what?
Adopt this ordinance.
Adopt the
Ordinance.
Yeah.
Let's just start the process.
It's just starting the process, Joe.
But are we gonna get to a question and answer period or something?
No. We just
Okay,
did.
yeah, well, we need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
That's what I'm saying, we haven't even did that.
Huh?
We haven't did a motion.
Yeah.
We haven't did a motion to adopt.
I'll make the motion to adopt the
I
ordinance.
second.
Now you in,
Now we can ask you. Yes, sir, Mr. Tindall.
okay. I'm against it. It just don't make no sense for someone to ask to be taxed. It just don't make no sense. And then we don't have all the answers. Who's gonna watch the money? People in Lincoln Parish don't trust that hospital no more. That's the word on the street. I had a friend go in there at 11 o'clock one morning. She had to check herself out at 11 o'clock that night. Never got waited on. That's the word on the street. So I'm not gonna vote for it.
This is just an ordinance, no money.
Oh, I
You understand that, okay.
Yeah.
I might just provide some clarity on the tax portion. So the tax sets up to where, let's just use $5 million as an example. This is my limited understanding of it. I guess David, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, party, but you would send them a tax bill for $5 million. They send the $5 million in. But then you send the $5 million to the state sends it up to the feds, and the Fed sends it back with $10 million more dollars. So this
Well, $5 million more dollars.
$10 million
$10
more
million.
dollars. I mean, yeah, it's like a 70-30, or a 68-30.
And that $5 million is being put up by Allegiance.
Allegiance. And so in turn for their $5 million tax, I believe they would get $15 million and then net, essentially net $10 million. That's why they would pay, volunteer for the tax. That's why they would volunteer for the tax, because they get almost 2 times more money coming from the feds.
That
back
chicken
then.
has been crewing right.
And all hospitals, I will say, I know the, St. Francis is doing this, correct, Ms. Kathy, and Willis Knighton? Oshner's, I think all of the major hospitals, it's another way to build the feds.
At
Yes,
some
it's
point,
best.
I think that we all, sitting around this table, need to consider what's best for our constituents in this parish. Healthcare, of course, for me, is top of the line. You have to, at some point, draw that line in the sand and say, I'm gonna step over it, and allow CLHG or Allegiance Healthcare to do what's best for our citizens. If we don't have a hospital in this parish, how does that affect our healthcare of our citizens? We really need to think long and hard on that.
And that's why I kind of said to Ms. Catholic, if this passes, here's your access to either better yourself in the parish or, leave yourself hanging in the parish to what people say. So that's just my opinion.
We said
It's a shot.
one-
It's a
we
shot.
said
No,
one
it's a shot.
stay here and for 1 year, right? Are we saying that?
Well, no,
1
we're
year.
we're not getting to any of that part
I'm
yet.
just
We're
saying.
just starting the process of
Right.
that.
Okay,
I would also, go ahead.
okay,
Go
with
ahead.
me, y'all saying it's all about the money. I have constituents calling me all the time. And I experienced something last night myself. My mother-in-law was up there about 11:45. We left at 2:30 this morning. So, we need to get better care up there.
How do you- and I think this could potentially be a way to help that, to help get
But
better
they need to
care.
show better care to me first before they get this money.
I understand.
Because to me, it's all about money, it's not about the care.
What's plan B then?
You got to have a hospital, but they need to do better care.
But it's hard, but you also don't know what they're, some of us work first responder, you don't know what the ER look like, you don't know what if you do a walk-in and it's not emergent, and they have emergence in the back of the door behind you, where ambulances come in with different things, that's just part of it, you have to play the wait game, there's no way around that, the ambulances are gonna take priority before they get to the other people, and I don't know what their staff was, I don't know what happened, I'm just saying my experience in the medical field that I've been a part of is that sometimes the ER gets bombarded with ambulance calls, and people in there, they're gonna take that over. Now, if you walk in there bleeding or something like that, they're gonna take you priority over somebody who walks in there with different ailments. And I'm not making excuses, I'm not saying yours is more important than any of theirs. I'm just saying from a standpoint of medical that I've been a part of, that, and, if you look on their form or any other form, my wife does healthcare, everybody needs employees right now. In every field, there's a huge national shortage on RNs, there's a huge national shortage in plumbers, there's staffing issues everywhere in this country right now, and the way to fix some of it is, sad to say, is money. So if, like I said, I'm not for or against anything that's going on out there right now, I'm saying this is an opportunity that we can give them, a flower to hopefully make things right, and if they don't make it right, then we have the power to take it away. That's the way I look at it. I'm just speaking for myself, nobody else.
So can this, ordinance that we are supposed to go now, can it just be tabled, or we have to?
It's time sensitive. I think they're trying to collect money, the state's got a different fiscal year, it runs June 30th
Right.
to July 1st. So, we're kinda late in the game, but I think they're trying to collect some money from the current fiscal year, which ends June 30th. I don't know if they'll get it done. If we don't do this, tonight, it's not.
But we gotta give them, my opinion is you have to
I
give
think
them
what we
all.
need to do, this is an ordinance. This is not a law, this is not something we're fixing to engage in. It's an ordinance, it's a piece of paper getting some started. Next month we come back and say we don't wanna do it, we don't do it. All this is right now is an ordinance.
Ordinance to start the process to look at doing it.
I understand.
Let's move on. Get a
Just
motion
want
to
to
move
make
on.
sure.
Question.
All right, Williams,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Lord,
Yes.
Hunt,
Yes.
Scriver,
Yes.
Poland,
Yes.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Henderson,
No.
Melton,
Yes.
Richards,
No.
Strotter.
Yes.
So it's 9-2. Motion
Moving on to the next item, item number 9 on the agenda, adopt order for sale of adjudicated property, parcel number 251-840-0075. Kevin?
We introduced this last month at 216/220 Igoan Road. They were run down. We did have the auction over there in District 2, and the auction was a friendly one. It was literally $1 above the minimum amount. I believe the auction that the lady that won it was a family member of the previous owner. So they won the auction, and once we approve this, they will proceed with the paper. We recommend approval.
Second. Motion made second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Item number 10, adopt millage rates for 2025. Jurors, you have in your packets the resolution for the proposed millage rates for 2025. There will be no changes from last year, so we're not rolling forward any rates. All the millages are at the max except for the library. If you recall, we adopted a lower rate last year, but the recommendation is to keep that same rate from last year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Item number 11, adopt resolution, committing matching funds in the amount of $358,600 for bridge replacements on Mitchell and Shady Grove roads.
Okay, this is some housekeeping that needs to be taken care of in regards to a capital outlay money that we received from the state probably 2 years ago. A lot of paperwork required to get things actually, to the point of construction. And so this is kind of a final step to get final approval to expend funds. The state's just getting in writing the fact that there's a match and we're going to pay it. So we recommend that we adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Therefore, none. Item number 12, adopt certificate of evidencing public approval of bonds to be issued by Capital Area Finance Authority pursuant to section 147F of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 as amended and authorizing the president to sign the certificate.
Last time we did this, I don't believe a lot of the new jurors were on the jury, so I'll kind of give a brief overview of what this is. It's a cooperative endeavor agreement with an outfit called Capital Area Finance Authority. We actually started in an agreement with them in October of 2020. What they do is provide, they sell bonds, they use the funds to obtain down payment assistance for low-income people that are looking for purchasing a home. Once they expend all the available funds that they have to get authority to do more bonding capacity to provide more funds. They have assisted some people here in Lincoln Parish, even though they're based in Baton Rouge, but to keep the program viable, they have to get buy-in from each police jury. We have no commitment to any financial responsibility for doing this, and so we recommend that we go ahead and authorize this commitment.
Second. Motion made and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Budget report. Mr. Sutton, if you'll give us the budget report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sure, you have in front of you the budget actual report for the month of April. Only items of note, speak generally because every fund has them, membership dues, insurance, acquisition equipment do seem heavy on the front end as they normally do. I've mentioned that last several months, but I just kind of want to keep mentioning it for a little while here, just so we don't forget about it when it comes time to the end of the year, rather, if we do have to amend those. Sales tax last month was $837,077.87, which is up $93,574.45 for the same month of prior year. So it's up a little over 12% from last year, same time. Last item of note that I want to mention, your financial disclosure statements are due on the 15th, which is this week. A few of y'all have gotten with me and we've gotten those taken care of. If anybody needs my assistance on that, I'm happy to help. But that would be, Thursday, I believe, that they're due. So if you need any assistance, please let me know. That's all I have, Mr.
All
President.
right, thank you, Mr. Sutton. That is just a report and no action necessary on that.
Mr. President, can I ask a question?
You can, Mr.
My, on the severance tax,
Yes, sir.
this money coming out of the fourth quarter?
No, sir, that's
That's the first quarter?
yes, sir, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Other business, travel and authorized reimbursement expenses related to attendance of Police Jury Association of Louisiana Legislative Day, May 6th and 7th in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay, we had a couple of jurors that attended the legislative day in Baton Rouge, and we're just getting permission tonight to authorize reimbursement of expenses for them in accordance with police jury travel.
So moved. Motion made and seconded, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Yeah, I'd like to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of put that off the agenda. Yeah, we've already heard from you.
today, we had to buy both more crews, that way we have one full crew, so we are coming, just give us time.
Okay, Maurice?
Yes, just that, contractors were back out, have been back out the last couple of days working on the, new treatment plant, so I probably estimate we probably about 92% complete on that, so, they're just doing some touch-ups and everything. So we should be doing a startup here, I'm looking for, the next several weeks.
Al, got anything to report? Okay, I think we have, a library board member or two and, library director here. Would you like to give a report?
I think Bill already gave you a packet from me. Never ask the librarian for information. You get way too much. I'm being told I have to come to the podium. The reason that this came about is because we've been meeting with, our legislative committee has been meeting with all of the state representatives and senators that represent Lincoln Parish. And one of the things that I put together for them was the statistics from last year, and the board thought it would be a great idea to get these in front of you. So this is what happened at the library last year overall. We had almost 140,000 people come through the doors. We had almost 200,000 items checked out. That was actually down from the previous year, but the way that that's physical circulation, so those are actual physical items. The new trend is for digital items to be checked out. And if you look at the bottom of that sheet, almost 94,000 digital items were checked out. And as I'm looking at this year, they go up every single month. So as physical circulations go down, digital increases. So the face of what circulates in a library is changing a little bit. One of the things that was really amazing was internet connections, and this includes uses of the library computers and technology, but as well as our Wi-Fi service. We had over 36,000 people connect to the internet from the library. So that's up 44% from the year previous. So we're a big Wi-Fi hotspot for all kinds of people. We had 679 classes and events and outreach events that we attended last year throughout the parish for all ages. That's up 38% from the year before, and we had almost 30,000 people that we saw during that year. Room use, these are the free use rooms for if you come in and need a place to meet with, say, your lawyer or your anybody, or if you're meeting a tutor or what have you. And we have these rooms that you can also book. That front room that you come in, you've had police jury meetings in there as well. We had over 4,324 uses of rooms in 1 year, which is insane. Those study rooms stay busy all day long, 7 days a week. We do have a homebound delivery service, and that pretty much stays steady. We had, she visited she made 722 stops last year and visited over 1,500 people. And we currently had, at the end of the year, 30,000, just over 30,000 card holders. We added 1,500 for the year, and the physical and digital collection, your access is over 2 million items at the library, which is pretty good for a library of our size. Just a quick mention of the other things in your packet. This we actually sent out to every single student in Lincoln Parish before the end of the school year, so they know about summer reading at the library and all the activities. As you can see inside, it's very full. We have 15 special events that are on this side. These are special performers and guests that come in from outside that are professional entertainers in that kind of regard to come. And then we have the other events listed as well. This is the full menu, I guess I should say, menu for summer. We've already have it done. So this is through August, all the activities that are going on at the library. And then this is the May newsletter as well. So I just want to keep you informed of what's going on. We'd love to see you over there. And if you've got any kids or don't have any kids and know somebody's got kids, send them, give them this thing so we can have them at the library. Thank you. Oh, let me point out, you already know Bill Jones here, but Sandra Dupree, our vice chair of the board, is also in attendance. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here.
The only other thing I just want to remind you of, you've already been made aware of, is that we were very successful in getting some grant money out of Baton Rouge. $1 million for the mark. And that's going to be used for a lot of different things, mainly the resurfacing of that sewer district to work on preventing water intrusion, groundwater, surface water intrusion into the system. So, real happy about that. And Kevin's got something he wants to.
All right, so Kip and I went down to the Louisiana Emergency Management Association conference this last week. We did a lot of networking and other classes, but the most important thing to come out of there is Kip got an award. So the Louisiana Emergency Preparedness Association recently created the Dick Vermillion Emergency Manager of the Year Award, and this is the first year that we actually had the award. Mr. Vermillion passed away last year. In honor of his decades of service, they actually named this award after him. And so this is the OSEP director from Calhoun Parish, where Dick Vermillion was from. He's presenting Kip with the award. So he was the first emergency manager of the year.
Speech.
Everybody in the office.
Okay, that's all we have on the reports, and is there any public comments, President, from anyone?
Mr. President, before you dismiss, I would like to recognize two other members from Lincoln Parish Library, that's Bill Jones and Ms. Dupree, who's sitting in there. And thank all of you for coming.
Can I say one thing? We could not have a better jury for our library. I've been over the state and in Baton Rouge and involved in library activities since I've been on the board. And we really want to thank y'all for y'all's support. Courtney is there every time, of course, we've got Milton there, he's on the board. And y'all have really helped this library, and we hope that we honored your trust. So thank you from the entire board.
President, may I make a comment, please? Yes, sir. Hello? My name is Gerald Long. I had the privilege of serving 12 years as the state senator, the privilege of serving as the president pro tem of the Senate while there. In my senatorial district, I had 7 parishes. And I have spoken to many of our police jury members and Courtney and his staff. When you work closely with police jury members, you find out they're appointed quickly. Are they there because it's kind of, it looks classy, it looks important? Or are they there because they have an ideal that they can make a difference? I will tell you, in my 12 years as a state senator, I did not work with a police jury that was more focused than this group. We can take a lot of pride in Lincoln Parish that we are doing a lot of things right. Do we have a long ways to go? Absolutely. Absolutely. But we're on the right track. And the biggest thing that I dealt with in my 12 years was this racial division that took place. I'm just being candid and honest with you. This jury has risen above that. Their hearts are in the right place. They work together because when we work together, we can accomplish great things. So I want to just give you a shout out and also a second to what Mr. Bill Jones has said.
Thank you.
Thank you for that encouragement. Thank you very, very much for that. Do I hear a motion we adjourn? You got a second? All in favor say aye.